Can you believe he forgot to do the date on the last podcast? I mean,
That was
it's pretty
I'm
amateur,
appalled.
right?
Yeah.
Wow, you just had that loaded up and ready to go, didn't you? Holy crap. Oh,
Yeah, I
my
mean-
goodness.
And he's a fully trained audio engineer too.
Oh, it's fine, probably.
I mean, it's like me not washing my hands before a podcast.
Ooh,
Wait, what?
Well, I have to wash my hands before I go in a patient room. I have to wash my hands after I leave a patient room.
Oh, that whole, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
Try to keep up.
I've
watched a new show on an emergency room. I forget what it's called. It's on Netflix, whatever it is, and they were really
Is that the one with
emphasizing
Meghan Markle, being an emergency medicine physician. Is it that one?
Yeah. That was what was getting me. Every time they're going in and out of the room, they're washing their hands, right? But there's not a single mask anywhere else. They crack somebody's chest open in their operating theater down in the emergency room. Not a single mask.
Well, there's a reason for that.
yeah, how else are you going to fix it if you're not heavy breathing on them the whole time?
You can't see their
Patients are
face.
contaminated. The patients are contaminated already.
Okay.
You're really not contributing that much in the way of germs at that point. So
You put one on the patient then, I guess, maybe.
Okay, well, before we get into best medicine practices anymore, this is March 6th, and this is the 274th numbered podcast for March 6th, which I already said, 2025.
3311.
3311.
And this is the Loose Screws podcast.
Wow, we remembered the date.
We did.
Breathy.
Suck it, tracks.
Jeez.
Oh, good grief. Write that down. Anyways, so I am joined today. I'm Commander Lark Shadow. I am joined today by Commander Blooming Wind
Hello.
and Commander Oblivious.
Guys, I've been testing a new mouse from Asus. It's a
How's it?
mouse that emits a fragrance when it's in use. This is a real mouse. You can look it up.
What?
But I am not happy with the fragrance. I need something that I think is fitting of elite gameplay. So I've decided I'm going to make my own. I call it Essence of TTB. Thick Thargoid Booty.
Nah.
Smells
Their
like
natural musk.
smells
I
like
was gonna say either that or sweaty gamer scent.
yeah, it smells like fish in a microwave and burnt cauliflower.
Yeah.
Best part about it is when we have, the AXI Finance Friday, I could really clear a room.
And now I regret going to you, so I'm going to go Blooming Wind. How was your week?
My week, utterly exhausting.
Same.
It's my last week before spring break, T-minus 2 weeks to partial nephrectomy, and I had to give an expert witness deposition on Tuesday. That was it was like root canal.
Sounds exhausting.
I mean, it was just exhausting. And because I had this kind of 3-hour window and the court recorder forgot her plug for her laptop. So we were all basically trying to get the deposition done before she ran out of battery. And she ran out of battery before we finished the deposition. So she just started writing notes and
Oh, no.
yeah. And there was like one point where the guy asked me, the defense attorney asked me a question, and my answer went a little sideways because I misheard the question. So my attorney freaked out, grabbed me. He was like, "What are you talking about? Because we never talked about any of this." I was like, "Well, the question he asked was," and he was like, "That is not exactly the question he was. We'll rein it in." So then when I got cross-examined by my guy, we were able to kind of get everything kind of straightened out. Because I mean, I was just kind of giving a list of things that could have happened, but not in order of what I think happened. I was saving what I thought happened for the end, but I didn't get to it yet, and my attorney panicked. So when I'd gotten to this is what I think the cause of death was, on the cross-examination by my attorney, the other attorney's like, well, you and your attorney had a little talk. Why did you kind of change your mind? I was like, well, I didn't. I just wasn't finished yet, and I didn't understand your question. And then I kind of went through everything in exhaustive detail, came back to it, and then my attorney's like, okay, I think we're okay maybe, and I think we're going to be fine when we go to trial. I get home that night, attorney texts me. He's like, you did great. He wants to settle.
All
I'm like,
right.
Heck yeah.
Yes. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Even
'cause the
though you
guy's,
ruined your big
nice.
build-up.
yeah. So, yeah, I was like, I was building, man. So, because the guy told me talk, and I was like, okay, well, that was your big mistake, is to tell me to talk. So,
Right.
yeah. So what else happened this week? I'm on the inpatient consult service, which is always fun, and keeps me busy and keeps me out of jail. Got an email that my boss is worried that with me missing work, I won't be able to send emails to Elon about what 5 things I did at work. So, like, okay.
Oh, we know one of your 5.
Yeah, get standing orders done.
Mm-hmm.
So, yep. So that was my week. In a
Nice.
nutshell. And then in game, I've been distance screwing.
Nice. How about you, Oblivious?
Well, let's see.
Don't make me regret it.
Finally
I'm gonna make
finished
you
up
regret it.
the laundry room tile project. That's done. Yay. But now I get to start on remodeling the second bath. That
Oof.
one's going
my.
to take a while. That's a big one. And that one actually needs it. That stuff's dated, and the tub has the enamel, and the steel has a big crack in it. So that needs to be done. So we'll get that going.
So which enamel has the crack?
In the tub.
The tub. Ooh.
That's not
Yeah.
where you want it.
So what do you do
Yeah.
about it? Do you replace the tub, or is there a way to
Yeah,
repair it?
there are some paints you can use, and I did that, and that worked okay for a couple of years, and then it started yellowing, and it just looks horrible. So what you're doing now is replacing the tub.
Got it.
So
Nice.
yep. Let's see. In game, to do. Been doing a little bit of BGS. Ran into some really strange stuff while doing BGS. I think BGS is drunk. We'll talk about it when we get to the squadron update.
100% drunk.
Yeah, and I started running some materials out to Trax's station that we can talk about later when we talk about track stuff. And I've been watching the Discord and seeing this guy NL putting stuff out there. And oh, look, he's joined us.
Oh, what was
He
me?
has. But if
Uh,
it's okay with hate, I'm going to go next because I have a
Well, hold
lot
on.
of heavy stuff to get through, and I
Oh,
want to
I just-
just leave it behind.
I want to sprinkle this in.
Yeah, no worries.
Since I've joined, well, like in the middle of Blooming Wind talking, I've been trying to log on, and I just got an orange sidewinder before I could get logged on.
Great.
Please continue.
Oh, I love you, Elite. Never change. Oh, shoot. Okay. So I have actually been missing for the last couple weeks, and there's a good reason for that. So 2 weeks ago, my dear sweet mother-in-law unfortunately passed away at 84, which is quite
Sorry.
a run. And that's 5 years after a stroke she had before, and it was a stroke that ended up taking her a few weeks ago.
Mm.
But she fortunately didn't linger, didn't suffer. Like, it's sad, but at the same time, we're happy for her because she's no longer in pain, and she has been. And so, like, overall, it sucks for us that are still here. It's a good thing for her. Grief is weird. I don't like it. Here's the fun part. So that week that she died, my wife was coming home from one of her sisters, helping do something to do with the funeral that's done now. And she got a flat tire that same week. And not only was it a flat tire, that poor tire literally had 4 holes in it. We have no idea how it was holding air at all.
Do that.
Yeah. But we were able to get that fixed up and everything. The funeral was gorgeous. Everything's good now. It's just dealing with all the aftermath and stuff now that's still going on. And so that's why I've been missing for a while. That's also why I've canceled my own distance group participation, because I don't want to be out by myself in the black anymore. I'm going to go home where there's people in Elite. Anyways.
You understand.
I'm actually, how many jumps? Let's see, 22 jumps out away from meeting my carrier that I've been sending out to get me. And that's been my last couple of weeks, and I'm freaking exhausted. Still. But in happier news, life goes on. Things are still going good. Life is still good. And that's what matters. And Hate, how are you?
Life has its ups and downs. It's
That it
important to
does.
find the balance between the tops and the bottoms.
I was never good at that. I'm always the throw my hands up and wee guy.
That is a method. Yeah.
Not a great method. It is a method. But I didn't want to bring the podcast down. That's why I went in the middle. What you got going on, my man?
I talked to a broker today. I got approved for like 250% of the purchase that I need.
Oh,
Right.
Oh,
Yeah. Because what I'm trying to buy is really cheap, not because like I'm wealthy.
fair.
Extra cheap. And I was talking to the owner because it's the owner selling privately.
Oh, nice.
I already knocked $5,000 off the price, and it was totally on accident.
And this is for a house, yes?
Obviously, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
That's
wait.
fantastic, man.
By accident. There's got to be a story behind that.
yeah.
Uh,
Go on.
so it's called seller's assistance, where after you make the air quote purchase, part of their profits is given back to you as the buyer. And yeah, he already committed to that.
Oh, okay.
And what's
So-
the logic behind that? Like,
Uh,
why would he agree to that?
if he has the agreement, it's easier for the buyer to secure a better loan. So
Got it.
instead of me talking him down on the purchase price, I can, have that $5,000 air quote knocked off, but it's just
Yeah.
like the first two, actually be like my first 4 payments
Right.
Okay.
because it is
Gotcha.
cheap.
That is freaking awesome, man. I am so happy
Great.
for you.
We're
Uh,
thrilled.
Yeah. I had my FAA med cert. I got to
Ooh.
wait 2 months to try it again after I get some glasses and some other stuff. And then
Nice.
then I start applying to flight schools. I'm raising the roof because it's silent celebration. But
Right.
Wake her up.
Do not wake her up.
yeah, no kidding. What a demon. Work's going good. I've gotten like 1.5 raises already, and I don't make a lot of money at my work, but they approve all overtime if you ask for it. All
Nice.
you have to do is ask for it. And like my work is really easy and understimulating. So
I've
I
had
gotta
jobs
get out
like
of there. I gotta get out of there. It is too damn boring.
But the hours
And
are
if that's the
better,
only-
right?
If that's the yeah, tremendously better. And if the only complaint I have is I'm bored at work, I must be doing something right.
Yeah.
There you go.
Nice.
What else is going on? I bought some local distilleries bottled in bond weeded bourbon, and it is
Ooh.
pretty freaking tasty.
Nice.
We haven't done a spirits section of the podcast in like 2 years.
And
We
you
haven't.
get work shot at all the good stuff now, right?
We haven't had any Pappies
No
or
Pappies.
any Weller.
Hmm.
because the Pappies is hard to get, and because even though Cincinnati can get Wellers all day, our suppliers can't get Wellers, and then if they do, they don't get it to us.
It doesn't make it that far down the food chain.
Uh, we're not a big chain. We operate in 5 counties.
Mm.
I'm gonna, and here on the podcast, I'm gonna buy a Type 8.
There you go.
Oh, and mandolin. Never mind.
Oh, never mind then.
Yeah, we were at my son's school has like a auction fundraising event, and one of the items was a bar stand made from a bourbon barrel and a whole bunch of high-end bourbons. And I mean, I wasn't going to be bidding on it. But it was a little too steep for my liking. But it was like they had some Pappies and they had some Blantons as the 2 premium ones on it. But then there's some other good stuff too. But it was like,
Because if
Yeah.
you guys want to hold on the spirits talk, I got the Chick Chat sound loaded in the disco board.
Do it. Do it.
Too much of a pause.
too much of a pause.
It's Chick Chat. Yeah, that's a fact. It's Chick Chat. Where the cheese at?
We here at Loose Screws never end a sentence with a preposition.
There you go, buddies.
That's
Yeah,
right.
it's been a long time since we've done that.
Anyways, continue, Blooming.
Continue. No, I mean, I was just saying that there was like a whole bunch of bourbons on this thing. That's all. But tell us about this meated bourbon that you have. Hey,
Okay. Gotta serve it neat because it is a little harsh. It is 100 proof. It is not quite fully barrel proofed.
mm-hmm.
But the local distillery, no joke, is 20 minutes from our flagship store. So like the people that make it come through the store. There's a local army base, and I'm really doxing myself here. There's a local army base, so I get all kinds of people from all over the place coming through to buy this local distillery's product, because the flagship store is just off the interstate. So if they're going north or south or to an airport, either north or south from the local army base, they are going literally right past the flagship store where we have the most stock of the local stuff. Honestly, a lot of the times if they're local, we have some allocated stuff in stock all the time. Last week we had 6 cases of Buffalo Trace.
Ooh.
Ready to go. Obviously we've talked about it. It's kind of a pain to get a hold of sometimes.
Right.
We had some Willet Pot still on the shelf. Just on the shelf. We have Wild Turkey Generations for $600, just on the shelf. We had some Knob Creek 18 year. It moves curiously slow for being such a wizened name brand bourbon. What else? And then the local stuff. Here's one of those things that sneaks under a lot of people's radar. Everybody's heard about Early Times, right?
Yeah.
Real cheap, bottom of the shelf junk, right?
Yeah.
They have a bottled in bond that is some of the smoothest junk on the market for $35.
Did you say smoothest junk on the market? Is that what
Yeah,
you
dude.
said?
It is an absolute diamond in the rough. You'd think, oh, it's Early Times and it's $8 more than a normal bottle. Can it be that good? And you're gonna drink it and you're gonna go, this is flippin' fantastic.
Wow.
Why don't they make all of the Early Times this good?
Oh, that's fantastic. I don't drink, so I'm just inferring by Oblivious's reaction that it's fantastic.
It is one of those things that'll just catch you off guard in all the right ways.
Nice. Alrighty. Well, as much as we'd like to spend the whole podcast talking about that sort of thing, we also have a squadron update.
Incoming priority message.
Squadron briefing.
Oblivious, you want to take this baton?
Well, the first part of it.
Yeah, take the first part of it.
Okay, so got a little system that we've got election going on in. It's called NLTT 57216. Loose Screws is not the number one faction. We're like 2 or 3 in that particular system. It's not a lot going on at all in that system. There is a player faction in there that's leading it that seems to be very inactive.
Is there a truck stop?
No,
The system has a
Buc-ee's,
lot
I
of
think.
stations. They have a Buc-ee's, but they have a lot of they have a lot of stations, and the PMF is small. They are playing the game, and when we landed there in expansion, they were like, "You're not planning on taking over, are you?" And we said, "No, of course we're not planning on taking over, but we might take a Coriolis system or 2 from the non-player factions, just so you know." And they said, "Okay." And we said, "We promise we'll leave you alone. We just want a starport." And they're like, "Okay."
So that's where I came in.
Yep.
With 2 of those factions. Well, we got in. Screws got involved with another faction in an election, and basically we want to win it because we want the asset that's up for grabs in that. And I went after it like a typical unopposed election, and first time around logged some mission INF for it, and the tick came along and we lost. And we're like, I guess we got some opposition. So the second tick came along, and I put enough in that usually, in my experience, if there's a single player opposition, what have you, would be enough to win the day. And we lost. And I went, again. And so the third tick came along, and I said, I'm going to put a bigger number together on this. And then also started watching all the fun and games with the president's State of the Union. That's not a State of the Union. And by the time he finished talking, I'd logged over 100 INF.
Jeez.
He did speak a long time.
Yeah, about 90 minutes. I think it's the longest. I think it's the longest one in record, I think.
Yeah, an hour and 40 minutes.
But we lost again with 104 INF being applied to this thing. I'm going, there's no way that we've got that kind of opposition in that system. We've been reaching out to the player faction there, and they haven't talked to us. I haven't seen any other ships in there. There's only been, Bloom checked at me out. I saw like a traffic of 17 ships going in and out, and that was probably me.
Yeah.
So we don't know what's going on. So, hand off to you, Bloom.
Yeah, so there's been a bug that we've been trying to figure out, mostly because a lot of our systems have been overheating. Hang on one second.
I heard the frame shift drive charging.
Yes. So anyway, excuse me. So we were, because when we were trying to take back some of our systems after the whole ADI debacle, we were having trouble getting traction in certain systems by doing missions, and then other systems we had no problem increasing influence by doing missions. And Nurgle, through whatever research Nurgle did and through experimentation on he determined that if a system was a PowerPlay 1.0 system and is now a PowerPlay 2.0 system, the missions are not working right, if I understood what Nurgle said. So
Right.
Nurgle can correct me in the post-mortem in our general section, which I know he will. Anyway, so I think that same problem is applying in this election, where we're doing all of the missions and the credits going somewhere else. And so somehow we're losing the day.
Yep.
And so right before the podcast, I talked to Dr. Google, and Dr. Google told me that there's an issue tracker on Frontier for missions not impacting BGS, especially during elections in PowerPlay systems. And so this was reported on January 10th. There was an update on January 20th. And basically what they found was no BGS impact for missions, regardless of the type of mission completed. No corresponding change in the BGS state in the system. This includes influence changes for controlling factions, elections unaffected. During elections, the day count appears to advance solely based on exploration data and market activity. Mission completion does not seem to register any change.
Next time we're in an election in that system, we should try either running one mission for the opposing faction or like turning in, like it said, either a mission or exploration data or something for their faction just to see if it gives us the point.
Great
Yeah.
setup. So
Yeah.
last tick, I didn't do anything. Zero input at all. We won the tick.
For crying out loud. What is happening? Go home, BGS. You're drunk.
Exactly.
Oh my word, that's freaking hysterical.
Sorry about that. So
No,
where
you
were
guys
we?
are fine. Do you have anything else about that?
No, about that. So on the 20th, they added, they're finding the issue doesn't seem to be appearing everywhere in the same way, especially after the expansion issue was resolved. They had one system under PowerPlay, et cetera, et cetera. So that kind of lends credence that the person who posted that's not 100% sure what's going on either, and that the formerly PowerPlay 1.0 systems that are now 2.0 might be the bad guys, or the ones that were not ever a PowerPlay system that now are not 100% sure.
So the question is, do we have a issue tracker for the PowerPlay affecting that?
I don't know, but there's like a lot of people mentioning their reproduction details. So this is an issue tracker that I would very much like to see get voted up.
Yeah.
Missions not impacting BGS. So I voted it up, and everyone else should too.
Roger that.
So the link will be in the show notes.
I also just dropped it in the general chat as well, without any other context.
They'll love that.
Oh, absolutely. Forgive me. I'm trying to, not run into a star and scroll around Discord at the same time. Let me stop my ship.
There you go. And so other things in the squad update. Election in Miola, we're interested in winning.
Which we may or may not be able to do.
We may or may not be able to do, but so far I think we're up 2-0 or something.
Yeah, we're
there.
up 2-0 right now. Yeah.
And that's an independent
Nice.
system, so there's no problem there. And then we're making a push in Darahk, which means oak in Scottish, apparently. Thank you, Oblivious, for control. And the ADN leadership, not ADI, ADN leadership is cool with it, at least in principle. They have a whole bunch of rogue pilots who just whenever they see a competition try to win, so who knows what the hell happened. And then with colonization, we're not losing sleep over our overheating systems for now. We're just letting it all burn.
Because we can't do anything about it anyway.
Yeah, because of that mission tracker thing.
Mhm.
And then related, which can either be a PowerPlay update. Do we want to play the PowerPlay, or do we want to keep it in squad update?
We'll play the PowerPlay. Play.
This is short PP report.
Target shields offline. Target destroyed.
It's average, so Get your facts straight.
Bloom.
I'm listening. I was just waiting for it to fade out. All right. So,
Yeah, it takes a while.
so Baromir is not here to talk about PowerPlay, and I'm in the black. But when I was doing our squad update, I noticed a precipitous drop in influence in Semakhmets. Now, for those of you who are paying attention, before all of this BGS expansion overheating nonsense was something that was just pretty much impossible for us to overcome. We were trying to build a bridge of systems from Semakhmets out to grid before colonization dropped. Now, they surprised us and dropped colonization in March as opposed to like June, and BGS is broken, so we never really got anywhere. Anyway, so we were able to get Semakhmets up to like 85% influence. And in the last few days, it's dropped like a stone to about 65%. And then so I got looking at it and I realized, hey, it looks like somebody's doing a whole bunch of missions in Semakhmets for the minor powers, and that's why our influence dropped. And then I went to say, I'm going to go talk. And then I looked and saw what kind of fleet carriers there were. And there was 4 on-tall fleet carriers there. So I said, aha, this is some on-tall mischief, those damn kale-eating hippies. So I went to their Discord because I'm friends with them, and I said, hey, dudes, what's up? And they're like, hey, remember when you asked us to try to push Archer out of the system? I said, yeah. They're like, we're doing that, and we're reinforcing it. So they were doing it, and they're like, yeah, it's us. It's all good. Don't worry. We're not doing anything
Carry
bad.
on, Kale brothers.
And that's basically what I said is carry on. Gab at it. So screw the feds. So that was what was going on there in PowerPlay. Everything else that's going on in PowerPlay, I got no clue. Baromir put some update in our Discord, and so go read it. His Discord updates are awesome, and his audio broadcast is even more awesome. So that's the PowerPlay update. Take it away, whoever wants to take it away.
Alrighty, and just today, I know this because I couldn't log in when I first woke up this morning to move my carrier because they weren't done working on crap yet. But before I went to work, I could to move my carrier. There was the first update for Trailblazers. It was update 1. So moving into the bug fixes and patch notes and all of that fun garbage. I'm scrolling down. As you can tell, I'm stalling for time. All right. So for now, they have actually paused system colonization, which is an issue that's going to be resolved separately. That is still paused as of this update. And the PowerPlay data, as in the event, as in location, FSD jump, all of that is now supplied to your commander journal, which means we're probably going to get an EDSM update in the near future. So we can not only keep track of our BGS work, but also our PowerPlay work. What do you guys think of that?
I think it's great.
Been hope. I actually at the beginning of the year, I said I'd hope they would start doing that to feed some of the third-party apps that are out there. I don't know that it's all of the PowerPlay information that's needed. What it said they put out there, they put out PowerPlay collect, deliver, merits, and ranks, and they also threw in carrier location. I don't know if that's PowerPlay specific. So I do know of one developer, the guy that does BGS Tally, is going to start taking a look at that once he gets past some equipment problems and seeing if he can build some reporting into BGS Tally. And I imagine there's other good developers out there doing the same thing. I'm looking forward to it.
Very nice. Apparently, in that same feature of note, apparently for NPC crews, the flag that's supposed to tell you if they're even on your ship or not wasn't working. That's fixed. The status flag for super crews overcharge status is now there. That is an added one. They also added a new flag for super crews assist on whether the assist is active or not. Apparently that had stopped working in the past. They also, apparently there's a flag that tells you if you're on foot, if your flashlight is active. Apparently that was broke. That is now fixed too. I never noticed. So
Then now you run out of batteries if you don't know your flashlight's on. Okay.
if you can't see your flashlights on, then why is your flashlight on in the first place?
All
And
right.
B, get your eyes checked.
Has anybody seen what this Super Cruise overcharge status looks like?
No, but I am currently about to be in Super Cruise again, and I can tell you. Give me just a second. 3, 2, 1. And a Super Cruise overcharge. And oh, that's what it was. So nothing has changed except for in the upper right. Before, when you were in Super Cruise Overcharge, it would only say it down by the radar. Now, in the upper right panel, like where it says your ship name and status events and stuff like that, it says Super Cruise active while you're in Super Cruise and then goes away as soon as you go out.
No.
At
Okay.
least all the overcharge is active, I should say. I worded that weirdly. I'm tired. Someone else talk.
I was hoping for. I was hoping it would be like a retard clock. Instead
Oh,
of
no, it's not that. It's just
Pull up.
another thing to
Pull
tell
up.
you, hey, it's running.
pull up.
Yeah, basically. Oh, flip. But now to the fun part that everybody loves. Bug fixes.
You can't yank planes anymore.
So do you guys want to just pick and choose from these, or do you want me to read through every single one of them as fast as I can?
Pick your favorite or just do a Fibonacci series.
The Fibonacci series. I'm just going to pick our favorites. So one thing is, because I actually had Elite Crash doing this, fixed a crash when viewing the system map within the fleet carrier menu stack. I actually had that happen a couple times and just thought it was weird and went into the system map in my ship instead, and it was fine. What you guys got? Anything?
I got a big kick out of fixing the ability to gank somebody else's plane. Fortunately, that wasn't that well known before they fixed it, but yeah, that was apparently a problem. Someone could come in and claim your claim.
Yeah, that's part of the reason that colonization is paused right now. That and an exploit. So
Do we know what the exploit is?
I do not actually.
Somehow people were finishing whole systems like full with all the furniture in like an hour.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, that deserved a pause. That's a little redonkulous.
Yep.
Here's one that I never even noticed because I don't use the galaxy map that often. Fixed galaxy map filters resetting. Because I never remembered what I left mine on anyway, so I didn't even know that was broken.
Well, that wasn't specific to colonization. I think that's been out there for a while, and for instance, I think it's been driving some of our guys out in the blacks crazy because they would filter on certain stars, and then the next time they go into it, they'd have to set up to filter on certain stars again, and go into it and filter up. So it got rid of that reset.
Yeah, you're
Nice.
subtweeting me right now. Yeah, that is glorious. So yeah, I haven't had to deal with it the last couple of ever since that update, but yeah. So
That's great. And yeah, like Chig mentioned in the general chat earlier, I probably just Chig had said I probably just look at the navigation panel and then pick a system at random when I'm out there exploring and jump to that. And yes, I do that just because it's fun. Add some spice.
I did get a kick out of adjusted flickering landing pad lights on newly constructed outpost. Like you're coming in, the lights are flickering, and you're going, God dang, that electrical contractor screwed me again.
Well, I have aviation in my blood, so the flickering lights, I'm like, well, it's supposed to be doing that, right? I mean, oh shoot! They also said Oh, I actually know. So the very last one about the Thargoid Titans, I have a story about that. So I had seen a post on Reddit. I didn't share it to the general chat because I wasn't sure if it was even a thing or not. I thought I'd wait and see how it cooked up. The patch note says fix Thargoid Titan debris being misplaced and clumping together. And the Reddit post was the Thargoid Titans are reforming.
Oh, that's great. So that's what it was. Is the debris field started merging and collecting to a center or something?
Yeah, apparently something with the physics with them broke, and so when you would spawn into the instance, instead of everything being spread out like it should, it would just be in the starting place, and it looked like the Titan was trying to heal.
Oh,
Because
cool.
I saw screenshots on Reddit, and it absolutely looked like the Titan was trying to heal.
They reform it, so that'd be pretty
I was
cool.
hoping that was real. That they were going to try to heal themselves.
I actually kind of was too, because that would have been funny if after we won the war and colonization gets ironed out and we get 4 new ships, the Titans all suddenly went back to life, all of the Thargoided people activated, and the bubble just burned. And we were out there like Battlestar Galactica trying to find New Caprica.
Well, quick, go check the audio files.
Right? Oh, shoot.
Bubble burn 2.0.
Right. There's some server side stuff they mentioned here. One of which I think is interesting, allowing players to log in if they can't be moved to finished markets by our code. I had heard about this where people had logged off on their colony ship, the one that's out there building the facility, right?
Yep.
And so they logged off on it thinking, oh, well, next time I'm able to play, I'm going to log in and we're going to finish this crap up. And then the crap got finished up while they were offline. And because that got finished while they were offline, the colony ship was like, oh, my job is done here and peaced out with their ship and their commander. And so they couldn't log in because the game is like, your commander doesn't appear to exist. I forget what the exact error was, but that's the TLDR of it. And if that happened to me, I would have been really annoyed, but at the same time, that is so funny.
And you could just use what is it called? The duck help feature to get around that.
Yeah, apparently the unstuck command, which which exists in the main menu, which is there to move your ship to either the next closest in orbit of the next closest station or planet, depending on where you are. That would undo it, but most commanders didn't even think of that. They were
Didn't
just
think about it. Yeah.
I don't blame them. If I was getting an error where it's like, oh, you don't exist anymore, I'd be freaking out too. So, oh, shoot. And gosh, does anyone have the numbers on how many systems have been colonized? I know I heard it on Lave, but I can't remember it offhand because it went
somewhere in the neighborhood of 8,000.
That's right. It is going fast. And here's what I'm really interested in. How many of those 8,000 do you think are going to just fit out of existence because there's just one person trying to make it happen and they don't have enough time to be able to do it? And they thought they did.
7,000.
So what you're saying, of that 8,700, 7,000 are first starts?
I think
that's what Bloom's saying.
I think that number of systems is going to not make it to completion by the end of the month.
But they would be first start, because if it's a second system, you get all the time in the world. It's just the first one that's on a timer, right?
Right. But that's the data I'm interested in, is how many people are going to fail and why, so we can avoid that.
I think we just need to be deliberate about where we go and we kind of pitch in. I mean, that's the way not to fail.
Absolutely.
Well, it's that single guy with, single commander with good intentions. That gets in the middle of it and says, good God, how much aluminum have I got to haul to this thing? And then real life kicks in, and before you know it, yeah, he's his 4 weeks are up.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
on my way to Trax's system so I can start hauling materials that way.
As soon as
Right.
I'm back into bubble, that's going to be me as well. Oh, man.
We have about 30 plus systems that are affiliated in one way, shape, or form with loose screws. The
Right.
colonization systems.
That is fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's like crazy. It's like I don't know who's doing this. Like that's the thing that's like racking my brain is every time I go into a NARA, our system list grows even more, and it's all these expansion systems. Or these not expansion systems, these colonization systems. And I'm like, who the hell is doing this? You know?
To be fair, we do have a lot of members who are even on the Discord that don't really talk a whole lot,
Yeah.
but that do like do missions for us, participate, and blah blah blah. Like that the lurkers are a thing, and I'm wondering if it's that. Hey, lurkers, speak up. We're curious.
Oh, it's even more because there's a whole bunch that were at 20%. So we're like a minor player in some of them too. This is weird.
Awesome.
This is like really weird. I mean, like I'm not even going to put them on my star map because it's just like so confusing. But you know how that we can rename, we can rename stations
With arcs, yes.
Yes, I am hoping with arcs they will let us rename systems that are procedurally generated names, like Piscium Sector DRV B2-7, like that. Those kind of systems we can rename.
I want to say, I think they talked about that on Lathe, and the answer is no. I can't remember what the reason was, though. But
if I had to, I don't remember the reason either, but if I had to take an educated, like IT background guess at it, that the actual procedurally generated system names are way, way, way too far down in the database for us to be able to have them give us editing powers to. They just are what they are at this point.
A lot of them are star catalog addresses too.
yeah, true. Yeah.
Yeah, like the star catalog ones I wouldn't mess with, but these Piscium Sector Coal, I mean those ones.
Those just flow right off
some
the
of those,
tongue, you know?
Exactly.
even some of those do have their star catalog number attached to that star, even though they're named something funky like that.
Can't we just like overlay it with the? Can we overlay it with the bias star registry?
I am a big fan of that. That's what my wife bought me for Valentine's Day.
Oh,
I was going to say, what, Blooms? You've never been to Blia Eon LLN C23-20?
Yeah. No, I've not.
Sir, I don't think that was English.
It was higher. Oh, shoot. But if you want to see the full patch notes, they are available on Frontiers Forum, as well as we have them in the show notes. And with that, I say let us move on to a Galnet update if one of you wants to take that, because I didn't know there was one today.
Nor I.
Okay, Blooms, you're the one that told me it came out today.
Yeah, I'm the only one who seems to know about this one. Okay, so the Brewer Corporation Trailblazer fleet was upgraded. The CG that was kept going after the update for Trailblazers, or the introduction of Trailblazers. So, so people were participating in this CG that was going to create a series of mega ships that we could buy all the good stuff from that we need to buy to build our systems. And the hope was that they would max out at 8 mega ships that would be strategically positioned around the edges of the bubble. But once Trailblazers dropped, people lost interest in the CG, and not the
real
CZ,
fast.
CG, real fast. It dropped like a stone, and so we're only getting 5 additional Trailblazer mega ships. But everyone can get their stickers. So go pick up your stickers, and that I flew all the way back from the black to get 2 stickers, or even 1 sticker twice. We'll see what happens with that. But yeah, 5 new mega ships. It's at least it's better than the corrosive cargo rack CG, where they said based on how many tiers you hit, that'll determine what number of things we'll get, and there's only a size 4 and a size 1.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, I know they're the size 5 and size 6 from subsequent but you can't buy those. Like if you have a size 5 or a size 6 corrosive rack, you're a lucky person. I'm a lucky person because I have them. Ha ha ha. So that was the Galnet update.
Actions or lack thereof have consequences. Got it.
Yes.
All right.
Or someone that may or may not work at Frontier anymore was like, no, it should be hard mode. It should be hard mode, and they're not there now. So one of the two. All right. In dev news, we have 3 updates from them. One of the reasons that or of the 3 big ones, this is one of the 3 that colonization is paused, is that outposts are not converting correctly after you deliver everything. The official response is they're looking into it. They also have paused Twitch drops because apparently they weren't dropping and it was causing issues. And their response is they're looking into it. And Audacious is also still banned on Twitch. And their response to that is they're looking into it.
No, they're not looking into that.
They're definitely not looking into that.
They're
Yeah, okay,
completely
fair.
ignoring that.
All right, and that brings us to the discussion. I know at least one of you is out here on Distance Cruise 3 with me. How you doing, Blooms?
I'm doing good. The biggest frustration I have is with the fleet carrier jumping because I'm trying to get my fleet carrier to Colonia as fast as possible, and it's 40 minutes per jump. I can probably get 2 or 3 jumps in a night if I'm flying an hour to an hour and a half. After everybody goes to sleep. So it's just kind of, I'm moving towards Colonia at a slow, lugubrious pace because I have to keep refueling the fleet carrier. I've got 20,000 tons of tritium on that fleet carrier and I have to fuel hose it. So I'm trying to get it to jump 7 jumps before I can jump 7 jumps and then meet up with it. And then I go and then it goes and all of that. But I will tell you that the Mandalay is a great, great explorer ship.
Nice.
I'm having a blast with it. It's the views are good. The Super Cruise overdrive is wonderful, and it just handles like a dream. So I'm thrilled with mine. Everyone should get a Mandalay if you don't have one. I think they're for credits now, so you can't play to win anymore for it. But that's what I'm up to in Distance Cruise 3.
Can confirm I have a Mandalay now.
All right.
Yeah, how you liking the Mandalay, Hate?
Well, I haven't flown it yet. I'm doing other stuff right now, and I just
Okay, fair enough.
don't need that.
It looks good.
It does look good.
Nice. Alrighty. And the other thing
before you move on, I haven't been participating in DS3, but I have been following Commander Roy Cookson's stories.
Oh, they're so
that
good.
he's been publishing during Distance Cruise 3. Really good stuff. He's come out with 2 episodes this week.
She comes out.
So if you got access to the Discord, look under the Distance Cruise 3 channels, look for Roy's stories. Good stuff. A lot of fun. Well written.
It's a lot of fun. He's a really good writer too. Like credit where it's due. It's engaging. I love them. They're all good. Alrighty, and we all know why I am on the way home from DS3, but I at least made it to the 3rd waypoint before everything went to crap. So my other question, I can't remember who, but someone had asked this earlier. And so I thought I'd ask you guys tonight as well. What was your favorite mistake that as a newbie commander you made? I can go first if you need to think.
I need to think.
Okay.
I flew to one system away from Cubo, thinking that I could just rank up in the BGS faction to get prismatic shields.
Oh, no.
Wow.
How hard did you rage quit when you got there?
I think I took 3 years off the game.
Oh, no. Well, if you guys are still thinking, I'll do mine. My favorite mistake that I made as a new commander. So I didn't know how fuel scooping worked. I just know it was something that you did. And that was based off watching other commanders on Twitch do it. And so when I was a new commander, I was in my Sidewinder. I was low on fuel. And I was like, okay, well, here's a star. Let's get some fuel. And so I kept going towards it, and nothing was happening. It wasn't making the noises or showing me anything refueling or anything like I saw on Twitch. And then I hit the exclusion zone of the star, and I'm like, well, maybe I'm doing it wrong. Maybe I just need to fly in normal space next to it to get the fuel. And so I kept flying towards the freaking star until my Sidewinder overheated and exploded. And it was then that I realized, or it was a few minutes later after I'd respawned, that I realized that, oh, the fuel scoop is a module you have to buy and equip. So, yeah.
So I had two mistakes, I guess if you could call them mistakes. So the first mistake was I didn't understand how the gal map worked. So the first thing I did after I left the Nebula and went to Hutton's orbital was that I began the Fox's Guide to Engineering grind. So the next thing I did after I went to Hutton orbital was I blew my Cobra to Maya, and I had it on efficient.
Or
not efficient. The other one. I had the map on efficient. So I made like hundreds of jumps to get to Maya. But I got a lot of sweet, delicious Carto. Once I realized it was like, because once I upgraded my frame shift drive, and I'm like, my jump range is this. Why am I only jumping five light years per jump? Someone said, you dumbass, change your map settings. And I'm like, oh, okay. So that's the true mistake of the favorite mistakes. The other one, I mean, I don't know if you'd call it a mistake or not, but as a new commander, as part of the engineering grind, I went and started to do mining and also to get money for upgrading ships and buying new ships, etc. And it was right during the low temperature diamonds boom. So I was out in Baran, and I self-taught myself how to mine.
Nice.
I read a little bit, and it was just a whole bunch of trial and error with mining until I got it and got into a groove. And this is when I was playing Alex, and I wasn't really looking to play with other players at the time and all the other kind of stuff. So it was just that teaching myself how to do that element of the game with maybe a little bit of reading, but mostly just trial and error. That was probably my favorite series of a bunch of little mistakes that I made. So,
oh, that's awesome. Like, it took me a while to get to Maya on my first time, but it was not that long because I had at least figured out the map at that point, but it was still like 40 or 50 jumps in my poor keelback. How about you, Oblivious? What you got?
So many. I'll go with the first one, and that was when I mistakenly left. What did you call it, Bloom? The newbie system.
The Nebula.
Nebula. There you go. When I
Nebula with
mistakenly left the Nebula and turned around and tried to go back and got that message that says you couldn't go back. Now that mistake isn't what I was really reacting to. What I was reacting to, or what I'm favoring here, is the absolute panic that set in as a result of that, which was, I later found out, totally unfounded.
Oh, what were you panicking about? I'm curious now.
I was out of the protected zone. I was out into the wild west of Elite Dangerous after only a couple of days flying around the newbie system, not knowing what I was doing, what was going to happen. I'm going to die. And no, yeah, I didn't need to worry about that. Just go.
For those who haven't flown a Sidewinder for a long time, you have to remember in that ship, if you look down and to the right, there is literally a book built in to the, not a book you can use, mind you, but a book built into sitting in the little netting there that says the new pilot's guide. So just remember that's there if you're ever lost, or get on Discord in the Loose Screws Discord and ask, and we'll help you out. Oh, shoot. I can't remember. Hey, did you share one?
Yeah, he did.
He did share one. Okay, thank you.
Yep.
That's how tired. I am running on fumes right now, guys. I am sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
All right, so let's move on to the community corner, of which we still have Distance Screws 3 going on. Roy's stories are still down there in the threads if you want to read them. Oblivious already touched on that, but we have another thing to shout out. One person has already made it to Dryman's Point. And so a big shout out goes out to Commander Wiley. You win nothing. Congratulations, sir. I believe he's in Ireland, so I'm not going to pay for that until the morning.
So about how far is that from Seoul?
One
From Seoul?
astronomical unit from Ireland to Seoul.
Oh,
No, I mean
Dryman's
where
Point.
he's at. Yeah.
Oh, geez. I didn't measure from Seoul, but it's a good, 5 or 6,000 light years, if not more, from Ross 310, which is where we started.
Okay.
So I mean,
Okay, no.
it's not like, oh, I'm on the other side of the galaxy, but it's a good trip. It's way out there. I still want to go out there, but not right now. Alrighty. Well, does anyone have any
screenshots?
Sorry, what was that, Blooms?
Do we have a winner for the screenshot contest yet?
We do not. I am putting the council to decide together this weekend. I just haven't had time this week to do it. I'm sorry, everybody. But winners shall be announced on the next podcast, I promise. I have not forgotten about it, I swear.
No, we know. You've had a lot on your plate. I was just curious.
No, yeah. No winners for the screenshot contest yet, but all of the entries are in, and we are going to be going over them. So no worries there. All
I have
right.
something to say.
Go ahead, hey.
I haven't looked at the show notes, so forgive me if it's like where you're going. But I think this colonization, it should be late game gameplay.
Oh,
I
yeah?
also think that the credits needed should be far, far higher, especially after
we didn't even touch on that.
after the Thargoid War, when a lot of commanders became multi-billionaires.
Right.
It should be expensive. It should take a long time. I think a month is reasonable, but like with friends, you should be able to do a couple of at least a station a week. Maybe not a Coriolis, but an outpost.
Right.
And
for reference, for the listeners that don't know, I believe the current cost to go colonize a system is 250 million credits.
that feels right.
Could someone correct me on
million.
that?
It's 25 million. It's not 250 million. It should be 250 million at least.
It's 25 million?
It's
Yeah.
25 million. And then I don't know what the costs are of all the materials you're putting in. I mean, that's a pretty penny, but you're selling them to the construction ship, right?
Right.
At what, 125% of
Yeah.
average.
So you're going to be
Hey,
making
I'm with
money
Tate on
delivering the mats. Now, do you guys think the mat requirements are reasonable? I mean, I don't think they're insane.
There
I
should
think the
be a
mat
choke point
requirements are
somewhere.
actually good. I
Yeah,
think
that's
the
what I mean.
money
I think-
requirements should be like between 250 and maybe even up to 400 million. Because 25 is just way too low.
Yeah, I mean that's a night bounty hunting.
That's
Yeah.
one Thargoid if you get
Yes.
a big one.
Yeah.
I could earn 25 million like every episode that we record or listening to it back.
Seriously. No joke. It is not that hard. I wonder if they've even looked at how many credits commanders have.
A Shan. Pardon me, Shan.
Is that right? Oh shoot, yeah,
Yeah,
that
and then with
obviously needs to be
Vanguards,
raised.
and then with Vanguard coming, and we have the Bank of Borked.
Oh my
You know,
goodness.
I mean, if we were like, if we decided we were all going to throw a few billion in the bank for the squadron as the greater glory of the squadron, I mean, it would be insane. And we're probably not one of the richest squadrons in the game. I mean, I'm sure there are other squadrons where it's like there's some people with some serious stupid money compared to what we have.
Serious,
Like,
stupid.
no
money.
joke.
And what is Vanguard? I mean, Vanguard sounds to me to be like in-game organization around BGS and coordinated play, like we've been doing outside of game.
That's exactly what
yeah.
it is.
It
That's all it
allows,
is.
but it also allows us to put in-game rewards of some form. So,
Oh,
like, you know, if we have people
yes.
helping us, it's like, okay, we can essentially create a community goal and reward people, even if it's manually. Where it's
Oh,
like,
that's
okay,
right. And we
everyone who
and
wants
we can
to-
share modules and ships and so forth.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah,
that's
like
right.
we got some new player that's joined the squadron, and he hasn't done the engineering thing, and we're gonna go do Piranha Night. It's like,
Medusa
hey, kid,
Night with piranhas.
yeah, hey, borrow one of my borrow my AX ship because I'm not using it tonight because I'm off doing something else. And he takes the my AX ship out and doesn't have to build his own. I mean, that's kind of what it is, which
Or
is kind of
borrow
cool.
Dubs's adder,
Ooh,
right?
yeah.
Promise I won't scratch it, buddy. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's just the Vanguard was a weird name. I think it was just someone opened up a thesaurus and chose poorly.
That's exactly what happened.
Yes,
Vanguard
somebody.
is a poor name, but what is coming with it sounds absolutely
It
fantastic.
sounds so good.
Yeah, was it Wintermute who was getting all out of shape about Vanguard as the name, or was it somebody else?
I believe it was Wintermute.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's got lots of bones he chews on, so I really don't know.
I know. I was trying to call him in off the windowsill for that one. I was like, yes, it's a bad name. I don't know what to say. But the concept's cool.
Concept's very cool. And they've also announced roadmaps, which I believe you guys covered last week, correct?
I didn't cover it. I wasn't here.
I wasn't here either.
Yeah, we went through the roadmap.
Yeah, you did it last week. Okay, good.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I promise we're going to cover the Corsair, but my gosh, I am falling asleep in my seat.
Not this week.
Yeah, that's the next week. And listeners, write in and let us know what the next module engineering you guys want us to talk about. Do you want us to talk about hull theory? Do you want us to talk about
I have thoughts on hull
cannons?
theory. I cannot wait.
Yeah, cannons.
Cannon.
We could do cannons. We could do. Did we do those yet? We didn't do those yet. I mean, we already talked about shield theory to death. Or something else, something we're not even thinking of. So just write in because people love those. Get under the hood of the spaceship and make it better.
100%.
Chalk talks that we do. So just tell us the topic you want, and that'll force the guys that are on next week, who are not me, because I'll be in Cabo. Ha ha ha. Yeah. So anyway, right in.
Might even be able to talk some folks into having a graphic card discussion because there's some interesting things happening out there finally on that horizon.
Yeah, for once we literally have so much to talk about that we're going to have to cover the rest of it next episode, and I'm not even joking. We're not stealing that from Life. There's just that much. Well, we are stealing it from Life, but there is that much too.
Yeah, but we only do it for an hour.
It's okay.
They
I'll
go-
just have Daxie steal our accents again. He'll be fine.
Yeah, because they can do 2 hours.
Yes, they can.
All right, let's call it.
All right, boys. Well, If you're interested in joining the squad or at least talking to us, join us. Go to loosescrewsed.com. That's loosescrewsed.com. There's a Discord link there as well where you can join us on our Discord. You can also help support us on Patreon. All of the support that goes to Patreon goes right back into the community. Every single one of these prizes that I'm going to be giving out here soon have come from supporters who are on the Patreon. And we thank you guys for that, for helping make this kind of stuff possible, because it just makes it that much more fun. And for Needless Hate, for Disco Board.
Disco board, yes.
What a guy.
Needless Hate, for Disco Board, for Blooming Wind Oblivious. Say bye, everybody.
Bye,
Bye,
Disco
everybody.
board.